Your Kia dealership might be adding hundreds of dollars to your service bill for work your car doesn't even need, and most owners drive away without ever knowing it happened. A cracked serpentine belt that was never cracked, a cabin air filter that was replaced 2 visits ago and gets replaced again, a battery test that fails on purpose because the tester was never actually connected. These aren't rare horror stories, they're routine. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which tricks to watch for the next time you drop off your Kia for something as simple as an oil change. If you drive a Kia, this matters more than you might think, because Kia's service centers work on a model that rewards upselling. Service advisors often work on commission or incentive structures tied to how much additional work gets approved per visit, which means the person recommending your repairs has a financial reason to find more of them. That doesn't mean every Kia dealership is dishonest, but it does mean the incentive is built into the system, and knowing that changes how you should read every recommendation that lands on your invoice. Here's the fastest way to protect yourself before we even get into specifics. Never approve additional work over the phone without asking for photos or a written explanation first, and always ask for your old parts back. Legitimate shops have no problem handing over a worn-out brake pad or a cracked belt. Shops running a scam almost always have an excuse ready for why they can't. Whether it's a claim about liability policies, a recycling requirement, or simply telling you the part was already disposed of before you asked. None of those excuses hold up under a simple follow-up question, and a shop that's confident in its own diagnosis will never make you feel awkward for asking. Trick number 1. The multi-point inspection upsell. Picture this: you bring your Kia Sorento in for a routine oil change, something that should take 30 minutes and cost under $60. An hour later, the advisor walks out with a printed inspection sheet covered in red and yellow markings, pointing to 3 or 4 items that need attention soon. The problem is that most of these multi-point inspections aren't performed by a certified technician doing a careful visual check. In many cases, they're filled out using a generic checklist based on your mileage and vehicle age, not what a technician actually found under your car. Some shops even print the sheet before your vehicle is pulled into the bay, pre-marking common wear items simply because your mileage falls into a range where those parts statistically start needing attention, whether or not yours actually do. The consequence is that owners routinely approve $200 to $400 in additional work, like fuel system cleaning or a transmission flush, that their vehicle doesn't need for another 20 or 30,000 miles. Multiply that by 2 or 3 visits a year, and a single Kia owner can end up handing over $600 to $1,000 extra dollars annually for maintenance that was never actually necessary. The fix is simple. Ask to see the specific measurement or visual evidence behind any recommendation. Brake pad thickness should come with a number in millimeters. A dirty air filter should be shown to you, not just described, and a technician confident in their findings will happily walk it out to your car. If the advisor can't produce the evidence, the recommendation goes on your Get a Second Opinion list instead of your invoice. And once you start asking for numbers instead of accepting descriptions, you'll notice something else on that same sheet that's even more common and even easier to fake. Trick number 2. The fake failed battery test. This one hits owners of Kia Souls, Optimas, and Fortes especially hard because their batteries sit in accessible locations that make a quick swap look routine. You come in for a tire rotation, and the advisor tells you your battery tested weak and is at risk of leaving you stranded. They'll often show you a printout with a percentage, something like 72% health, that looks official and hard to argue with. Here's the problem. Battery testers can be manipulated by not fully seating the clamps or by testing in cold ambient temperatures, which naturally lowers the reading and makes a perfectly healthy battery look weak. A battery that's been sitting in a cold service bay overnight can show a noticeably lower reading than the same battery tested an hour later once it warms up, and a shop that wants to sell you a battery has no incentive to mention that. The consequence is a replacement battery charged at 2 to 3 times retail price, often between $200 and $280 for a battery you could buy yourself for under $130, installation included. The fix is to ask for the actual voltage reading, not just a percentage, and check it against your battery's age. Most Kia batteries last 4 to 5 years, and if yours is under 3 years old with a clean voltage reading above 12.4 volts at rest, there's no reason to replace it. If the shop insists anyway, that's your cue to walk over to a parts store and get a free second test before spending a dime, since most national auto parts chains will test your battery for free in under 5 minutes. Now, if this is the kind of thing that makes you want to double-check every invoice you've ever signed, that's exactly the mindset this channel is built around. So hit subscribe now and stick around, because trick number 3 is one that even careful owners fall for because it hides inside a real, legitimate service. Trick number 3, the recommended fluid flush that isn't due. Kia's own maintenance schedule is actually pretty conservative. Most transmission fluids are rated for 60,000 miles or more, and coolant often goes 100,000 miles before it needs attention. But dealerships frequently push flush services at every 30,000-mile interval, packaging transmission, coolant, brake, and power steering flushes together as a severe service package. The scenario usually plays out like this. You're at 45,000 miles, well within your fluid service window, and the advisor tells you your vehicle qualifies for severe service conditions, like stop-and-go traffic or extreme temperatures, which almost every daily driver technically qualifies for on paper. Because the severe service definition is written so broadly, it's less a diagnosis and more a catch-all that lets a shop justify moving up almost any fluid service by tens of thousands of miles. The consequence is a bundled flush package running anywhere from $300 to $600 for services your Kia's actual maintenance manual doesn't call for yet. And in some cases, an unnecessary flush on an older transmission can actually dislodge sediment that was doing no harm sitting still, creating a problem that didn't exist before the service. The fix is to pull up your specific model's maintenance schedule, which is published in your owner's manual and on Kia's own website, and compare the mileage intervals directly against what's being recommended. If there's a gap of 15 or 20,000 miles between what Kia recommends and what the dealer is pushing, that gap is where the profit lives. And once you start comparing dealer recommendations to Kia's actual documented schedule, you'll start noticing the same trick showing up in a completely different part of your service visit. Trick number 4, the brake pad percentage game. This trick specifically targets owners who've done their homework and know to ask about brake wear. When you ask how your brakes look, a lot of advisors won't give you a straight measurement. They'll say something like, "You're at 30% without any actual number attached. 30% of what exactly depends entirely on how that shop defines a new pad versus a worn one, and there's no industry standard forcing them to be consistent. The scenario is usually a routine visit where brakes weren't even the reason you came in, but the advisor mentions it almost as an afterthought, framing 30% as urgent when it might genuinely have another 10 or 15,000 miles of life left. Because there's no receipt or paper trail tying that percentage to an actual measurement, it's essentially impossible to challenge after the fact, which is exactly why vague language works so well here. The consequence is premature brake service, typically $200 to $350 per axle, months or even a year before it's actually necessary. The fix is to insist on a millimeter measurement. Most Kia brake pads are considered worn at around 3 millimeters remaining, and anything above 6 or 7 millimeters has plenty of life left. Ask the technician to write the actual number on your invoice, not a percentage, and if they hesitate or seem unfamiliar with the number, that hesitation tells you everything you need to know about how carefully your brakes were actually inspected. Trick number 5, the software update fee. This one is newer and catches a lot of Kia owners off guard because it plays on how unfamiliar most people are with vehicle software. Kia regularly releases updates for infotainment systems, transmission control modules, and even engine control units to fix known issues, and many of these updates are free under warranty or as part of a recall campaign. But some service departments will quote a diagnostic and programming fee, often $100 to $200, for an update that Kia is actually providing at no cost to the dealer. The scenario typically comes up when you mention a minor infotainment glitch or a check engine light tied to a software issue Kia has already acknowledged, and the advisor frames it as a standard diagnostic fee rather than mentioning that a campaign might already cover it. The consequence is paying out of pocket for something covered under warranty or a manufacturer campaign you were never told about. And because software updates leave no visible part behind, there's nothing physical for you to question afterward the way you might question a replaced belt or filter. The fix is to check your VIN against Kia's recall and service campaign lookup on their official consumer website before agreeing to any software-related charge. It takes less than a minute and requires nothing but your 17-digit VIN, which is printed on your registration or visible through your windshield. If there's an open campaign tied to your VIN, that update is free, full stop, and you should ask the service writer directly whether the update you're being quoted for matches an existing campaign number. Trick number 6, the unnecessary wheel alignment. You bring your Kia in for new tires, which is a completely reasonable time to also check your alignment. The problem is that some shops recommend an alignment on every single tire purchase regardless of whether your vehicle is actually pulling, wearing unevenly, or has hit a pothole recently. It becomes an automatic add-on rather than a genuine diagnosis. The consequence is an extra $80 to $150 tacked onto what should have been a straightforward tire purchase for an alignment your car didn't need. And if this happens at every tire rotation or replacement over the life of your Kia, it can quietly add several $100s to your total ownership cost. The fix is to ask the shop to show you the before numbers on an alignment printout. Most modern alignment machines generate a report showing camber, caster, and toe measurements before any adjustment is made. If those numbers are already within Kia's specified range, you're paying for a service that provides zero actual benefit. Request that printout before you approve the work, not after, because once the alignment is done, there's no way to prove it was ever needed in the first place. Trick number 7, the timing belt. That's actually a timing chain. This last one sounds almost too simple to work, but it catches a surprising number of owners because most people don't know which system their engine actually uses. Most modern Kia engines, including the ones in the Sportage, Sorento, and Forte, use a timing chain, which is designed to last the life of the engine and never needs scheduled replacement. Timing belts do need replacement around 60 to 100,000 miles, and that confusion is exactly what gets exploited. The scenario is a service advisor mentioning that your timing belt is coming due and quoting an $800 to $1,200 job, banking on the fact that most owners have heard timing. Belt maintenance is a real thing without knowing whether it applies to their specific engine. It's one of the more brazen versions of this trick precisely because it relies on a customer never questioning whether the part even exists under their hood. The consequence, if you don't catch it, is paying over $1,000 for a service your engine doesn't even have the parts for. Money that simply disappears with nothing to show for it since there's no belt to replace in the first place. The fix takes about 30 seconds. Look up your specific engine code, not just your model name, since some Kias have offered both engine types across different trims and years, and confirm directly whether you have a belt or a chain before agreeing to anything. A quick search of your engine code plus the words timing belt or chain will settle it instantly, and walking in already knowing the answer is usually enough to end the conversation before it starts. The bottom line: none of this means every Kia service advisor is trying to take advantage of you. Most are just doing their job inside a system that rewards upselling more than it rewards honesty. But the difference between an owner who gets scammed and one who doesn't usually comes down to a handful of habits: asking for real numbers instead of vague percentages, requesting your old parts back, checking your VIN against actual recall campaigns, and comparing every recommendation against your owner's manual before you sign anything. None of these habits require confrontation or an argument in the waiting room. They just require you to ask one more question before you nod and sign. Keep those habits in your back pocket, and the next time an advisor hands you a sheet full of red and yellow warnings, you'll know exactly which ones are real and which ones are just noise designed to pad the bill. The owners who avoid these tricks year after year aren't the ones who distrust every mechanic they meet. They're simply the ones who never stopped asking for the number behind the recommendation. If this helped you spot something you might have missed before, subscribe for more videos like this one.